Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to another Manchester United live preview. Tonight we're going to be looking at the Manchester United versus West Ham game. Now, obviously, I've tried to do this stream a few times before, but I realised I privated the stream for some reason before I went live, so I do apologise for that, but we are live now. Obviously, you guys, of course, get your comments in the live chat as usual, but I am doing this a bit later, so I do apologise for that. But of course, we're just going to get into it. We're just going to get straight into it. Welcome DT07. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Welcome Ryan. Welcome to the stream, guys. If you have just joined, please do leave a like on the stream. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, also just want to say thank you so much for all the support on the watch along we did. Obviously, we gained quite a few subscribers, so I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully you'll enjoy the previews and reviews I do as well. Welcome Matthew Jones as well. I'm just seeing this. Hello. Sorry, my stream ended. I don't know why. Oh, I was watching it. It was a decent stream while it lasted. Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. And if you want to go check out United Lads, as always, their links will be in the description down below. Welcome Yash. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you for joining. The first thing I'm going to touch on, of course, is the opposition, because on this channel I do like to kind of talk about the opposition first, get that out of the way, and then we can have our debates about Manchester United. So West Ham last game, as most of you guys already know by now, they won 8-0 against Maccelsfield. Only the 8-0. Only the 8 goals. I mean, that is crazy. Absolutely crazy. It doesn't matter if Macclesfield are like the bottom club in League 2. It's still a brilliant, very impressive from West Ham. And, the fact is that even at the last game they played at the London Stadium, they held Chelsea to a 0-0 draw. And the way that Chelsea are playing going into that game, to hold them to a draw is a quite impressive result. So, we have to commend that from West Ham. And that is why I'm a bit worried for this game, because, West Ham, they've got Arnautovic coming back into it as well. So they could potentially be very, very dangerous. They could really be a dangerous side. And I think they will be dangerous. Obviously, it's almost like they've bought a lot of people in the summer, and the players that they have bought are now just starting to click. They're just starting to gel together. At the start of the season, it was a bit that they really were doing badly, and I think everyone was kind of tipping them for relegation. But now they're seemingly clawing their form back. They're getting a bit better, and for them, it's probably the best time to play us. We're in a bit of turmoil right now. Obviously, we've drawn the last 2 games at home. Obviously, against Derby, there was a penalty shootout, so we lost that game technically. But in normal time, we've drawn the last 2 games at home. How mental is that? So yeah, I think for West Ham point of view, they're going to be licking their lips at the proposition of playing us. And with Arnautovic coming back in as well, they look a really decent side. But I do think we can exploit them. We can exploit them. I think their defence isn't all that great. I mean, they haven't, obviously, before the Macclesfield game, of course, in the Premier League, if you look at the amount of goals they conceded, it's not great. Yes, of course, they're West Ham, but we should be able to exploit that West Ham defence, and I do think that we will be able to create a decent amount of chances. Just want to say welcome Fortune, welcome to stream, thanks for joining, really appreciate it. Ryan puts his prediction saying 2-0 to Man United. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. I'll take that all day long. Once again, this game becomes only about the 3 points for me. I don't think there's anything else that is important about this game other than the 3 points. But of course, you might have a different opinion, so please do leave your thoughts in the live chat on that. Yash says their defence is solidifying. They prevented Chelsea from scoring. Yes, it's a good point. It's a good point. Obviously, I did kind of say there that their defence, there are a bits to exploit. And I think there still are bits to exploit. But I do think they are getting a bit stronger, and I think they did well to hold Chelsea to a 0-0 draw. You could also say potentially Chelsea should have scored. Created a few decent chances and should have scored. But really, if you look back at that West Ham game against Chelsea, honestly, I think West Ham probably were a bit disappointed they didn't nick the 3 points, because, Yarmolenko missed a really decent chance, and I think, I definitely think they had some really good chances to win at West Ham. So again, they look really, really good, which is annoying. The time we play West Ham is just when they're starting to get good. Fortune says 1-1, a bit of a draw, yeah. And I think a lot of Man United fans, the way the last 2 games have gone, obviously 2 draws, a hat-trick of draws, would not go. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Yes, I'm a bit more confident going into this game because it's away from home, because our away form this season has been actually quite good. So I'm quite confident going into the game. But still, I would not be surprised if we did get a draw, if there was a draw in this game. And I think if we did draw this game, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Jose Mourinho and even more people turning. Yash says Pellegrini's a decent manager. He has some ideas, unlike our Moyes. Yeah, we don't speak about Moyes, as Ryan says. Never mentioned David Moyes, but yeah, no. Obviously, Pellegrini does look like he's a bit more clued up. He's won the Premier League, hasn't he? He's won the Premier League, so he's a Premier League proven manager. So I think West Ham, I think they'll do all right. I think they will do all right this season, as long as they can keep their key players out of injury for long enough. I think they'll do all right. I think they will do okay. Ryan says, not too bothered about the League Cup and FA Cup this year. League and Champions League main focus. Yeah, I mean, some United fans would argue that the FA Cup and League Cup provide us actual avenues to win a trophy because, realistically, are we going to challenge for the Champions League or the Premier League this season? Obviously, in an ideal world, yes, we would definitely challenge for both of them. But the way we started this season, are we realistically going to challenge for both? I'm not sure. Ryan says it's going to be a tough match. Yep, I 100% agree. I think it is going to be a very tough match. West Ham are going to be full of confidence. We're not so full of confidence, and as well, the home fans behind them, the way they're playing right now, you never know, and I think it will be a very tough match. Yash says that their game with Everton was very good. They executed the plan to perfection, but we should do a good job against these teams. Well, exactly. If you want to actually challenge for the Premier League and these sort of trophies, you have to do a good job against these teams. You have to, put these teams away. And I mean, this season, obviously against Burnley and Watford, you could argue we have been putting these teams away, but I don't think, we haven't really been tested that much. I think West Ham will provide a decent test for us. So I'm not sure, but I think, of course, if we did draw the game, I would not be surprised. Fortune says West Ham could beat us if we don't turn up. Exactly. We need to turn up because we can't take these teams for granted. Look at the Brighton game. Perfect example. We did not show up whatsoever in that Brighton game, and they beat us. They scored their 3 early chances, and we were out of the game by the end of the first half. So that's what can happen in football. That is what can happen. If you don't show up for the first half an hour, you can be out of the game. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter if we're playing Brighton, West Ham, any team. If you don't show up for the first 30 minutes and you keep giving them opportunities, if they're clinical enough, they will take you to the cleaners. And that's what Brighton did. And West Ham could potentially do that if we don't turn up. Ryan says, but even if we had won the League Cup or the FA Cup, it wouldn't mean anything. Yeah, I mean, obviously it is nice to win the trophy. Man United is built on a kind of foundation of winning trophies. So I think I would definitely take either one of those trophies, but yeah, they both don't really mean as much as they used to. But the fact is, it's been so long since we won the Premier League or Champions League. In fact, even longer since we've won the Champions League. So I agree. I think we need to start challenging for those titles. And I was hoping that this season was going to be the season that we started to do that, but looking at the way we've started, I'm not too sure now. Ryan says, Fortune, yeah, we need to approach this game with the right mindset. Well, yeah, we can't go into this game, taking West Ham for granted because they're a great side, and we need to show up straight from the first whistle and don't allow them to come onto us. We need to get at them. And yeah, Yash says we are bad at home this season. Not sure why we're struggling at home this year. It's a good question. I wish I knew the answer, mate. I wish I knew the answer, but I don't. I really don't know why we're struggling at home this season. Usually, you associate Manchester United, Old Trafford with a fortress, but this season it just hasn't been there. And I think it's worrying because if you can't have good home form, then you're not going to win anything. Because really, you should be being really confident at home, being unbeaten at home, as we were. I'm not sure if we were unbeaten at home last season or the season before. I'm not sure. But, you need to kind of have your home as a fortress where, so if any team comes to your home ground, they're going to be worried. They're not going to, play the normal game plan. And, you need to have that. But unfortunately, we're not going to have that this season. Every single team that comes to our home ground, whether that be Wolves, Derby, they're going to show up with so much belief that they're going to run at us, and it's going to be very, very worrying. Welcome HB7, FIFA 19 daily content. Welcome to stream, Matt Powell. thanks for joining, really appreciate it. And guys, if you haven't already, please do leave a like. Obviously, it's a bit of a late stream tonight, so if you are watching this as a bit of podcasting tomorrow morning, the morning of the game as well, because it is a 12:30 kickoff, please do leave a like. I'd really appreciate that. Fortune says, in IMO, we're struggling at home because the home fans are more critical than the away ones. At home, we are expected to attack under Mourinho, and we don't do that at all, which leads to added pressure. Well, I mean, it's a good, kind of idea, because I do think the home fans, there's kind of less, I don't know, hardcore fans that go. I think there are much more fans that go there and are much more critical. And the away fans seem to really get behind the team. If you look at the kind of chants and stuff, even when we were losing or not doing so well, they're still chanting about Jose Mourinho, still supporting the side. And I think there is a bit of that. I think maybe the players do feel that away from home they are supported a lot more. But with that being said, at home there are 80,000 people there still. So you've got to say that the team is still being supported. Maybe they don't feel it as much, but the fact there's still 80,000 people there, I mean, they still need to perform. There's not really any kind of excuse for that. Yash says, we had such momentum after the Watford game. These fights are destroying the players' fans and confidence. Well, yeah, I don't understand really why we had such momentum after those games, but I don't really understand why we lost it really. I mean, obviously it was that result against Wolves, but I thought we played young boys. We won 3-0, and I was really I was really excited for the next game. Obviously, that was the Wolves game, and then we drew, and then we lost to Derby. So it's not boded well for us, guys. It's not boded well for us, guys. And I think we need to get that form back, because if you want to challenge for anything, we need to get that form back. And we have to start tomorrow. We have to start tomorrow. Ryan says, Man United fans must stay together through these tough times. He also says, what channel's the game on? The game is on Sky Main Event, I think.
No,
or
it's
Sky,
not.
or
it's
Sky.
on BT Sport.
Oh, BT Sport, sorry. Thank you very much, producer. Thank you very much. It's on BT Sport 1. BT Sport 1. Fortune says, Ryan, we're going to be parking the bus. Obviously, Ryan says, how's it going to go against Juve? Well, yeah, I mean, the way we are playing at home at the moment and away, I mean, I'm really not. I'm kind of worried about when we go away to Juventus as well. I mean, I reckon they're going to absolutely crucify us. I think they actually are going to crucify us. But we're going to get to that game when it comes. Let's not worry about it now. Let's worry about West Ham, who could potentially, really embarrass us tomorrow afternoon. But I'm going to give you my lineup prediction as well, because I haven't done that yet. You guys, of course, can leave your lineup prediction as well. And obviously, the main tagline of the stream is talking about Paul Pogba. Now, obviously, Mourinho has come out in his press conference, his pre-match press conference, and said the relationship between him and Pogba is good. And, Pogba's been training well, and he will be starting in the game, which for me is positive. I think the fact that he's coming out and saying that is what we need to hear, what he should be saying in the public eye. He shouldn't be starting these fights. And to me, when I saw the footage, I thought both of them need to grow up. I thought this sort of dispute could be sorted behind closed doors. We don't need the media cameras who are just absolutely gagging and waiting for something like that to happen. We are feeding them with these articles. We are feeding them. We don't need to feed them. They will find their own food for themselves. So, look, I didn't understand it. I was really disappointed by it, but we move on, and Jose Mourinho seems to be saying the right things, and hopefully Paul Pogba will pull out a 10 out of 10 performance for us tomorrow. I'm going to go with De Gea in goal, obviously. I would like to see Dalot play right back. I don't think Dalot is going to play right back. I think it's going to be Valencia. I think Mourinho isn't going to trust Dalot just yet, but I think potentially against Valencia in the Champions League on Tuesday night, we'll see Dalot. But I think Valencia is going to be playing a right back. 2 centre-backs, Smalling and Lindelof. And left back, Luke Shaw. 3 in midfield, I'm going to go with Fellaini, Pogba and Fred. And the 3 up front. Now, this is a debate. I think a lot of people would love to see Martial playing on the left-hand side instead of Sanchez, because Martial against Derby was probably one of the, the leading lights in a performance which wasn't great at all. So I think Martial, in terms of form, I would love to see Martial picked. So I'm going to put Martial on the left side. I'm going to put Lingard on the right-hand side. I'm going to put Romelu Lukaku up front. That is my predicted lineup. Although with Lingard, I would potentially change him for Marcus Rashford, just because his 3-match
2-match ban, which he got for the headbutt against Burnley, has now finished, so he's available for this game against West Ham. And I think, Rashford will actually be absolutely gagging to get back into that squad. He really will. And if we put him straight back in there, he'll really want to prove to Jose Mourinho what he can do. And I think that is the best thing to have when a player really wants to prove himself, because he'll play to the best of his ability. So that's what I'm thinking. That is my lineup. You guys in the comment section down below, and of course in the live chat, leave your thoughts on that. Welcome Crazy Pizza Gaming. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. He says 1-0 to Manchester United. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll totally take that. Yash says Pogba, Matic, Fellaini as a midfield 3. 2-match hammers. Big guys. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I mean, obviously Matic. I did forget Matic, and I think potentially Mourinho might go back to Matic just for that reason. So, I mean, I think obviously, it is definitely going to be between Matic and Fred, and I think that's going to be the battle that is going to rumble on throughout the season. Will Jose pick Fred or Matic? And I think last game, obviously, he went with Fred over Matic, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I think, yeah, it might be a sensible idea to put 3 kind of big guys in there, because West Ham do have a decent midfield. Yash says, also, Sanchez will be back, I guess. Jose likes his work ethic. Well, yeah, I mean, it's great in all having a work ethic, but the fact that he hasn't really scored too much and he hasn't really affected too many games, and he's on 500 grand a week, is not great. And I think Martial, right now, in terms of form, both of them haven't really been scoring goals as of late, but Martial, in terms of form, deserves to be in that team for me. Fortune says, what do you make of Lukaku's form? It's a good question. I think Lukaku's form, I feel like he could score a few goals against West Ham. I think he could, because, Lukaku's that kind of player. We saw it at the start of the season. He's missing easy chances against Leicester, but then he goes and scores against Brighton, and then he misses easy chances against Spurs, but then scores 2 against Burnley. And then misses chances against Watford, but then score. But that's the sort of player Lukaku is. He's a sort of player that in one game he'll have an absolute stinker, but then the next one he might score 1 or 2 goals. You never know with Lukaku, and that's the thing. We need consistency. We were talking about this with Pogba as well. Both Lukaku and Pogba suffer from a lack of consistency. And if we are going to actually challenge for anything, we need those 2 players to be playing consistently over a long period of time. And I think Lukaku can be a lethal striker on his day, but can also be a bit of a donkey. So that's the only problem. And really, if you want a world-class striker, as some people say he is, has to be consistent. And Lukaku, unfortunately, right now isn't as consistent as we want him to be. Yes, he is still one of the top scorers in the Premier League, but that's only because in games he scores maybe 1 or 2 goals, which is great. I think obviously that's a huge asset to the team, but I just think that Lukaku, I'd much rather if he could spread out his goals and maybe be a bit more consistent, but hopefully against West Ham. And I could see it. I could definitely see against West Ham, Lukaku showing up and getting a goal or 2, because that is the sort of pattern that we've shown right now. It's that he needs to, get that goal or 2 tomorrow and then build from that. Take confidence from it. Yash says, a good performance and a good win tomorrow is crucial to get away from these fights. Yeah, I think a good win tomorrow, shut the media up, just put in a good performance. Let the football do the talking. That is what we need to do. And let the press speculate about stuff. Let the media do that stuff, because we don't need to be adding to that ourselves. With that kind of, discussion and disagreement between Mourinho and Pogba, we were adding to that. We were adding to it ourselves. And, we don't need to do that. We really don't need to do that. So for me, I think, tomorrow, if we do get a solid win, if we play really well, get the 3 points, the media have got nothing to say. They've got nothing to say. And I'm actually happy that Pogba's starting, because if Pogba wasn't starting, then I think the media would have jumped on that real quick. They would have absolutely pounced on that. So I'm happy that Pogba does look like he's going to be starting for Manchester United tomorrow. Also just because he's such a big asset to us in terms of creativity. He's someone who provides so much for us in that midfield. And I think it sometimes gets overlooked because, he doesn't score as many goals as people would like to see. But some of the passes he makes are absolutely exquisite, and if someone like Kevin De Bruyne was making them, everyone would be clipping them up from YouTube. But with Pogba, it's just, he made another pass. Did it lead to a goal? No. Well, it doesn't count. And I think it's annoying to see, but I think as long as the Man United fans, you know, the people who actually watch the games, recognise that and can see that, that's all that matters. Let the rival fans, you know, completely be oblivious to it. Fortune says if Pogba didn't start, we would have lost and the media would have gone crazy. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, exactly. If Pogba didn't start and we lost, prepare for like a week of articles from the Sun, the Mirror, all these things. Will be the top. Will be the top topic on the debate show, and you know, it'd just be normal service resume for Man United because we get clicks. So. Look, I mean, honestly, I've just stopped reading articles that people, you know, these Man United articles about Pogba. I've just completely stopped reading them because I know they're absolute bullshit. So, but anyway, I'm going to give my score prediction now. Obviously, you guys, if you are watching, I want you guys to leave your official score predictions in the live chat right now. Are we going to win the game? Is it going to be difficult? Leave your thoughts. And who do you think's going to get the goals for us as well? So leave your score predictions right now in the live chat. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think it's going to be a difficult game. I don't think it's going to be plain sailing. I think West Ham from the off are really going to put it on us. I think they're really going to, you know, press us and make us, you know, make us sweat. They're really going to make us sweat and make you know, the Man United fans sweat as well. But I think West Ham, they're going to take confidence from our latest results and their latest results as well, and they're going to go toe to toe with us. They're really going to put the pressure on us. But I just think we're, you know, away from home, we've looked solid and we've got such a great away following, and I feel that, I don't know, I might just be you know, obliviously positive. I mean, last week when we were playing Derby, I said we're going to win 3-0, and that didn't turn out right at all. So, look, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United. I think Lukaku's going to get back on the score sheet, but I also think Paul Pogba is going to score a goal as well, and I think he'll want to shut down all the articles, all the haters and things like that. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win, Lukaku and Pogba goals, and yeah, I mean, if that happens, I'll be happy as Larry, but you guys in the chat, Yash and Fortune, both saying 1-1 there. I'll tell you what, a lot of people today I've seen have been putting 1-1, thinking it's going to be a draw. And to be honest, I would not be too surprised if that happened. Obviously, I think we are going to win. I feel like we've got, you know, we're good enough away from home. But I'm just, I think if we drew the game, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end it there. I do realise it's a bit of a late stream, obviously, the people watching the UK. So, you know, if you are watching this tomorrow morning, which is most likely, please do leave a like. And also, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Fortune says if Martial doesn't start, Mourinho needs to be criticised. If Martial does a bad match, he gets dropped. It's been 8 months of Sanchez and he's done nothing. Exactly, I think, you know, Sanchez really hasn't done too much in a Man United shirt. Martial hasn't done too much as of late, but I do think Martial in terms of form deserves to be playing ahead of Sanchez. Welcome to DRDR, welcome to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. He's from Iraq. Iraq is red like Manchester United. Well, thanks for watching, mate. Really appreciate it. If you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. But thank you very much for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. And it's great to see someone watching from Iraq. All over the world you guys are watching from. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I might be doing a watch along for the game tomorrow, so we have to wait and see on that, because I will be able to do it, but I'm not sure. I might be doing a watch along. You guys will have to wait and stay tuned for that. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched the stream tonight. Obviously, it's a bit later than usual, but I still really have enjoyed it. Hopefully, we can get the win against West Ham and put pressure on some of the other teams around us. Leave your thoughts, of course, in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.